One mic.
All I need is one mic.
It's just different.
One mic with Big Mike.
The overall tenor of what he's saying is very stupid.
They say his style is too urban for the radio.
Maybe it's not racism. Maybe it's placism.
Brother has to know his place, right, Bob?
One mic with Big Mike.
Things aren't always what they seem.
A sports talk show, but no subject matter is off limit.
Don't just tell me that the reason something's being done is because that's the way it's always been done. Because the first thing I'm going to say to you is slavery.
And now, your host.
I got the big homie here who needs no introduction.
Big Mike.
All I need is one mic.
Yep, it's Friday, man. Last day, we made it. Appreciate you guys joining me out there. This is the One Mic with Big Mike show. Holding you down for about another 2 hours here. I got stuff to do after the show. Me and the old lady gonna go out and check out Hidden Figures after the show. So I'm gonna try to make it sweet and simple and quick to the point tonight. You're hearing me, if you're hearing me, live on Spreaker.com, the Spreaker app. Also tune in and One Mic with BigMike.com, my website. You guys make sure you share that information with all your friends and your family and tell your folks about it. This is a grassroots movement, man. So we're trying to get this word of mouth thing popping off. If you don't get a chance to stick around for the entire show, do not worry. All shows are available on demand on all the outlets I've already mentioned, as well as on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and YouTube. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube, subscribe to the iTunes. Also follow me on iHeartRadio and on Google Play and on Stitcher and all those things. If you guys want to get in touch with the show, you can do so in a couple of different ways. I'm streaming live video right now, Facebook Live. My Facebook page is facebook.com/One Mic with Big Mike, spelled the number one, MICWITHBIGMIKE. If you want to leave your comments and questions and whatever below the streaming video, feel free to do so. You can also text the show at 404-902-8104 or jump inside the live interactive chat room like my man Nostra Damas, aka Negro Damas, aka Big L, has done. What up, homie? All you gotta do is be listening via Spreaker, the app, or my website, onemicwithbigmike.com, and click on that little thought bubble icon. It'll get you right up in the building, man. We got something good tonight, man. One of the friends of the show, friends of the One Mic with Big Mike show, former Atlanta Falcon, former Redan Raider from my folks here in the A. Y'all know about the Redan High School here in Atlanta. Terance Mathis. Terance Mathis was one of the top receivers in Falcons history. And then like Roddy and Julio and them cats came along, and I didn't look, but I'm gonna ask him when he comes on, like where is he at now as far as the receivers go, man. But yeah, that's my man. Good philanthropic homie. He's going to come talk to us about this year's team, give us some compare and contrast with the 98 team that went to the Super Bowl for the Falcons. So that should be fun on a Friday, Friday fun day. Also, we got to do on this day, right? Top of the next hour, we're going to take a look back into the annals of history. And I'm going to give you guys some little tidbits and some little historical factoids as far as things that happened on this particular day went. Also, don't forget about hashtag. Put it on the poll, brought to us by sportsnewsandbrews.com. I got a bunch of them tonight, but I may not be able to get them all out because Renee's not feeling very well tonight. So, I ain't going to torture her with me. You know what I mean? She already ain't feeling well. This is definitely not going to help. So, we'll see how many we get out tonight. But all day today, I'm looking at this pad that I was just like writing stuff down as I was doing my reading and my prep today. So we'll try to have some fun with that as well. I got a little NBA news that I want to hit you guys with if I have time tonight. Of course, the NBA playoff, the NFL playoffs is jumping off. The divisional round tomorrow. We got some pretty good games. That Texans game might, sully the average a little bit, might spoil the curve a little bit. But we'll deal with that if we get three good ones. I think we can deal with that. So as far as today's headlines go, let me make sure I mention this before I forget. On Monday, my man Will Leach from Sports on Earth is going to join the show at 8. After, of course, Ben Troop joins us at 7:30. Will Leach is a writer for Sports on Earth, and he wrote a piece today about the Atlanta Falcons fans that really touched a real genuine place within me. So I hit him up. I was like, yo, let's do something on Monday. He was like, great, let's do it. And I was like, great, we're going to do it. And now we're going to do it. So Will Leach. Check out some of his stuff. I was reading some of his other stuff before the show started, before I started the show, and I was like, yeah, me and this guy we're gonna be all right. he thinks on a level that I can appreciate. So yeah, that's going on. And also, I told you guys on Wednesday and on Monday about Big Mike's Brims, my new era Michelin S snapback hat giveaway. All you gotta do is make sure you follow me and follow me with the hashtag Big Mike's Brims, BIGMIKES BRIMS. And just at the end of the month, I'm just gonna put all the names in a hat and pull them out on the air, and we're gonna let it ride. So Renee's telling me that Terance is number 2 on the Falcons in what? I didn't see the whole thing. And what is it? Catches, yards. What is it? Yeah, Terance ball, man. Okay, so not any specific set, just behind Roddy, but, Quintorris is over there now doing crazy work. So it's only a matter of time for Quintorris just blows all these records out the books. Let's start. I got to tell you something about Renee, too. I got to tell you what kind of weirdo Renee is. And the funny thing about it is a lot of you will appreciate her weirdness and her weirdoism as well. What up, I am No-Dos. I am No-Dos in the chat room. Like I said, you guys can join the chat room, guys and girls, by going to, if you're not listening right now on Spreaker, or if you are, or the app or my website, onemicwithbigmike.com, just click on that little thought bubble icon, and you'll be right up in the building in the live and interactive chat room, or you can text me at 404-902-8104. Or let me check this live stream out real quick, see if anybody's checking there. All right, nobody yet, so it's there. Okay, so that's the headlines from yesterday and today. The big thing yesterday was that the Chargers are leaving San Diego and going to L.A. No one here cares where I'm at in Atlanta. No one here cares. But there are some bigger issues in this that other people should care about. Like, everyone should really care about. If you're one of those people who talk about my team and all this kind of stuff, you should care about this, and I'll tell you why in just a second. The other headline, of course, the divisional round of the NFL playoffs going on this weekend. That's a big headline. And outside of the world of sports, shout out to all the people, man, in a bad way, that's about to get screwed on this healthcare situation, man. These Republicans got up in there and they pulled some sort of special session and rule and made some kind of vote to get the ball rolling on repealing the Affordable Care Act, aka Obamacare. And really, let's keep it real. The only reason they're doing it because it got Obama name on it. From my understanding, it was the same thing that Mitt Romney was proposing. It was just called Romney Care then, and a couple of little tweaks, it became Obamacare, and it's like, no, can't have anything with that Muslim's name on it, that Muslim Kenyan's name on it. Hell no. So they're going to try to, like, Donald Trump is selling all these damn wolf tickets about, yeah, it's going to be simultaneous. When and ever, if you're an adult, when and ever have you ever seen something in government happen simultaneously? Even close to simultaneously. I rest my case. So it's about to be some folks getting screwed, man, and it ain't a good look. It's terrible, man. And as much as, I find humor in the fact that this orange a-hole is the president, I can't find humor in the fact in the fact that people are going to be getting, one, probably price gouge, and also just left dangling with, I don't know. It's just terrible, man. He's a terrible human being. I saw John Lewis say, this dude is a terrible, terrible president, man. Terrible. Oh, so here we go with this. All right. We'll make it happen. I just got to remember to pull this back up. Sorry, guys. I'm having off-air conversations on air. Renee hates when I do that, but I can't control it. So let me give you guys the poll results before we move on any further. The poll results from yesterday. I actually did this time get them. Is snitching. I gave you guys my story yesterday about, or Wednesday, about these people not wanting to put no damn gloves on. They was making my chicken or fixing my food. And I asked the question, is it snitching if you call an establishment to report poor service or unsanitary conditions? Hashtag put it on the poll. It's brought to us by sportsnewsandbrews.com. 83% of you said no, which really 100% of you said no, but because Renee is Renee, she got to be extra. She got to put like some extra thing. No one has TE for that. All right. Yeah, it could have just been yes or no, but I get the gist. All you people said no because, yeah, I want my stuff done right. Here's another one. Do you believe Jim Harbaugh really fell asleep during the college football championship? See, there's redundancy here too. Okay, so yes, 32%, no, 37%. Of course, he's weird, 16%, which is really a yes. So add that to the yes pile. And 15, he's just a sore loser. 15%. So I guess that's also in the yes pile as well. So those are the poll questions for Friday. We got a bunch more today. Hopefully we got a bunch more today. So let's move on to this Chargers situation. I'm going to tell you why it's a situation that I'm glad for the people, those folks in San Diego, because at some point, somebody's got to be like, you know what? F this damn team. If you want a damn stadium, buy your own damn stadium. Billionaire, homeboy. What you need more tax money for? And then you got like these government officials that try to like hit you with the spin cycle thing. Well, it's not coming from exactly the taxpayers. We're going to take it from the hotel and the blah, 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 blah. And for those people who are going to say, well, why not take that money and put it into education? Well, because we can't just do that. It's earmarked for something else. That's a load of crap. First of all, like if you got money, it seems to me that you can spend it how you want to, but you're choosing to do it this other way and telling people that your hands are tied. And that happens all the time. And then you sell people on these dreams and hopes of, the influx of jobs that are going to come to the area and all these things. But if you listen to economists, they say it's all a bunch of crap. Like there's a quick spike, of course, because of the construction and things of that nature. And maybe some of the places around the venue see an uptick, but that money inevitably comes from somewhere else. Like you go to the bar spending your money on beer and wings and watching the game and all that kind of stuff. It's not because you necessarily have extra money. Most of us are taking that money from doing something else in the city to do that. So as far as the city getting more money, it's kind of a little bit of a wash. But they sell you on these dreams. No people in San Diego voted for it. It was like, yeah, you want to pay for these guys' new stadium? They was like, hell no, nope. And then my man paid $500 million to leave the state. And I think it was like 100 and something million. So in comparison, you see how it's much less to actually stay there. Yeah, man, screw them. And like for those people who were like, well, that's not going to happen everywhere. Arthur Blank pulled the same thing here. In 2013, for the people in Atlanta, you may not remember it now because Arthur Blank seems like a nice dude. So he didn't do it in like the gangster way. Like, I'll just leave. These reports were out. He gave a detail of a meeting he had with some construction people in L.A. Here's the other thing about this whole situation with San Diego moving. The whole L.A. threat, that's one for like 20 years. Cats have had, these owners have had in their back pockets that threat. Because, we might be moving to L.A. We can move to L.A. now. The NFL wants a team in L.A. We got to get us a new stadium or else we gone. So Arthur Blank pulled that too, and him and Cassine Reed worked this whole foolishness out where they can get a new stadium and all this kind of stuff because everybody wants a Super Bowl, and then they tell the same lie about the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl going to come here, and it's going to be jobs and blah, 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 blah. Nope. Nah. You know what I mean? All it is a penis measuring contest between these billionaire owners. If we build it, we know they'll come. And Roger Goodell's at the head of the table. He's the one that's he's the one putting all this stuff in motion. Because now look what's happening. 2 teams in LA. The Raiders are gonna move to Las Vegas probably, and I think that's gonna become something of a norm. Not like a every year thing like it's happened this time, but like as things move on, teams that aren't gonna be getting Super Bowls. The list is getting fewer and fewer also with that. Because if Minnesota can get a Super Bowl, if Indianapolis can get a Super Bowl, hell, they might play one in Alaska, if that's the case. So no, good for those people out there. And I hope everybody else is listening. That's why I always brag on fans who love to holler out, this is my team, my quarterback. Our squad, loyalty, and all this kind of stuff. Them folks, Arthur Blank and Bob Kraft, and none of these folks don't care nothing about you. They care about that green. They'll allow you to think they care about you. But when it comes down to between you and your loyalty and your jersey sales and your season tickets and all this craziness, guess what? Guess what they're gonna choose. And man, and like I don't fault people for like, their tribalisms and their wanting to, represent their city, but put it into gain a little bit of perspective. None of this stuff is putting any money in your pocket. You know what I mean? And don't tell me, I bet on money, and I bet on it and I lose. Well, if the Falcons move to Idaho, you still be able to bet on them. Like, so that don't change anything. But like Arthur Blank ain't cutting you no damn check. But everybody's all in, and you better not say nothing about this. Or if you say something about this, it's gonna be a problem. All right, that's cool. But I'm in a city right now that lost 2 franchises, the Atlanta Flames, and when they came back as the Thrashers, gone again. 2 hockey franchises, and people don't think that's a big deal. But there's something to me. There's something to be said about a city that can represent in all 4 major sports. Not a big hockey guy. I used to work for the Atlanta Thrashers a while back, doing their studio productions, but never got a chance to go to a game because of that, because I was always at the studio, and I would have wanted to. I would have wanted that experience, but now guess what? I can't have it. Lost it twice, and while it might not seem like it's a big deal because we Atlanta and it's all about the Falcons and the Hawks, and then when the Braves are good, them too. But I just think for the esteem of the city, it's a good look when you got all 4 of those teams. All right, so that's my whole little spill on that. I thought I had a hashtag put it. Would you be mad if your team, hashtag put it on the poll, brought to us by sportsnewsandbrews.com. If your team needed a new stadium or wanted a new stadium, but it was going to make your taxes go up, would you prefer A, they leave, or B, would you just vote to pay the tax and keep the team? So if the team wanted a new stadium and the only 2 options were they leave and go to another market, or you pay the tax, your tax increase or whatever it is, which one would you choose? Hashtag put it on the poll, brought to us by sportsnewsandbrews.com. Don't forget, bottom of the hour in a couple of minutes, we got former Falcons wide receiver Terance Mathis. Terance played a bunch of years in the league. He's from the home team, man. DeKalb County boy, Redan High School. So shout out to the Raiders, the only Raider that the Falcons love. I think I say that, yeah. So in all, like, stop letting these people ransom your damn team. Hold your team for ransom. And for the Chargers' sake, good for them, because guess what? If you really want to see the team 8 times a year, maybe 7 if they go to London, you can drive 2 hours. It ain't even that far. So when Phillip Rivers is on TV crying about to cry about having to leave San Diego, dude, you ain't got to pick nothing up. They talking about all these players, the move, they got to move, and the stuff that's going to be on their mind. L.A. moved from St. Louis to L.A. You moving down the highway, cuz you could just rent a house for the season. If you want to go home, I mean, there's ways. Kobe got a helicopter. So a lot of these dudes got bread. You want to go home that bad, hop on a helicopter and take your butt home and see your kids. Other than that, the whole LA having 2 teams thing and 2 bad teams is kind of frustrating. They're going to be playing in a 30,000 seat stadium next year, so that's ridiculous too. But whatever. Whatever. It's what you signed up for. So tomorrow, you got the Falcons and the Seahawks. Do we also have we got the Texans and the Patriots tomorrow. I saw this wonderful article about the Patriots, I'm sorry. And the way Trump made the show again today. Without me even talking about the healthcare, Trump was going to make the show today. The way Trump is affecting the fan base in New England, because news to me, they're big time. Well, which one am I looking for? Liberals. They're big time liberals in that neck of the woods. Never thought that would be a case. It's like, because I know about like some hella racist stuff that goes on in like the Boston area, or has gone on before in the Boston area. So that's kind of like a shock to the system. But who wrote this article? It's from SB Nation, and I think it's on my Facebook page at One Mic with Big Mike. You guys can go and see if you can see it there. But all in all, most of New England and the New England states, they went to Clinton. And so now, if you guys don't remember, there's kind of a conundrum with these fans and their owner, the owner of the team, Robert Kraft. their head coach, Bill Belichick, and the quarterback, the all-everything quarterback, Tom Brady, love Donald Trump. So you can see where that could create a little bit of a divide. And again, it's why when people have this like ride or die, well, this is the die part. Everybody says that we're going to ride or die. This is kind of the die part. You're going to go and keep supporting these people. And in the article, it talks about people who just say they don't watch the Patriots anymore. My man, Envy, used to work with him over at CBS over at V103. He hit me up on Facebook after I posted the article, and he's a big time Patriots fan. He's like, yo, man, like he said, I'm like his support and everything used to be 110%, but it's well below 100 now. And so I guess in stating the difference, I can see what he's saying. But he said it's an issue. You know what I mean? It's an issue with Belichick and Kraft and these guys. But then there's the other part of the coin where, I guess these guys do a lot in the New England community. And obviously they have to. Guys like Robert Kraft and these guys who live there, it's kind of incumbent upon them, because if they didn't, people will find out and it'll mess with their brand. So I'm not really, I really like big up people for that, when they're in the limelight. Like my man, like Terance Mathis is coming on after the break here in just a second. He ain't in that game no more. He ain't playing football no more. He's not somebody that people see every day on Sunday. So if he chose not to do anything philanthropic, he ain't got to, but he does. You know what I mean? And those are the people, like, I look at that kind of stuff and I'm like, yeah, do it when nobody's looking, B. So when telling me that Robert Kraft does all this stuff in the community and Tom Brady, of course they do. Why wouldn't? Like, I can tell you a million reasons why it would hurt them not to, more than help them to do. So, yeah, that, Tom Brady had the Make America Great hat. He told everybody how great. He said it'd be great if his quote unquote friend Trump won the election. This is before all that, before he actually won, which is still just a calamity of hilarity. It's just the worst thing. I'm going to be alive 40 years in 2 months. I can't think of anything outside of like babies dying, anything outside of that I've seen that's just this abruptly, like, ridiculously bad for everybody. Not me, you, America. Oh, damn. I mean, Renee, tell me the word again, please. The word that I'm supposed to be saying for America and not America. Because the Native Americans, the natives didn't, see, I said it again. The natives didn't call it America. They called it something else. And you can't just walk into my crib and call it something because you want to and I've already named it. Hell no. So we taking this thing back, claiming it back. Just like they claiming that pipeline. Hell yeah, this is my part of the movement. I'm trying to find the part of, when everybody, all these cats from up there got on Brady's Facebook and was like ripping them. And then my man who wrote the article, he wrote an article about the Patriots that had nothing to do with Trump. But because people don't care about any of that stuff, he had stuff on his Facebook like F Brady. I used to think Belichick was a genius. Now I hate him. I actually take delight when they lose. Yeah, all these are quotes. I don't know if you guys saw Blackish on Wednesday. If you haven't, go ahead and catch that situation on demand. Like, eventually, you know what's going to happen? Eventually, white people are going to realize this show is on, and the wrong white person is going to watch it and be like, what the hell? Because at first, if you guys remember when the show first came on, Akoira. Yeah, this is what the country is called, B. Akoira. You heard it here. Stop saying American. I'm gonna forget again. So, Akoira. All right. But you remember when Blackish first debuted, it was like the modern day Cosby Show. So white people hear that, it's like, yeah, you know what? I can get with that. Yeah, and they probably just didn't look at it because it seems like just a black show, right? They wait for Cheers to come on afterwards. One day, some white dude is going to sit down, the wrong one is going to sit down and like, oh, let's see what this Blackish show is about. And like try to binge watch it and be totally appalled by a lot of what's going on. And it's awesome to us. Black dudes at work getting angry and cussing out the boss about what you say to me. Like, yeah, that's going to really happen. You know what I mean? Like, you have a conversation, first of all, about stuff that many people, the HR folks ain't trying to let you have at work anyway. And then you tell the boss, what you say to me? Yeah, guess what is not happening to my man? The ability to come back and apologize for that. Security taking his ass about it so fast. But anyway, it was good. I love Deion Cole in that show. But, my man was talking, Anthony Anderson was talking about how much he loved Akoyra. I am know those as Acoyra. The little alert went back down. So I by memory, Acoyra. Akoyra. Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, I am know those is in the movement. My man, my N-word. Hell yeah. Yeah, buddy. We gonna get this thing. I ain't trying to sound out America's original name. Look at you. God. As I'm big. He's such a jerk, man. God, I should have known it was a damn trick the whole time. Such a damn jerk. Anyway, if you guys want to get in this chat room with this jerk and my man Big L and Renee, all you got to do is be listening via Spreaker, SPREAKER.com. Make sure you sign up for your free Spreaker account as well. It also has an app, and follow me on Spreaker as well. They also have an app. I'm live on TuneIn right now, and of course on One Mic with BigMike.com. You can only get into the chat room through the Spreaker. Through Spreaker and the website by clicking on that little thought bubble icon you see on the streaming player. You can also check your boy out live streaming on Facebook right now, facebook.com/1MICWITHBIGMIKE, and leave your comments right below the live, as comments below the live stream, or you can text the show at 404-902-8104. So yeah, we're getting ready for the playoffs. For the divisional round of the playoffs. I'm sorry. You got the Steelers and Chiefs. I've already mentioned the first two games. The Steelers and Chiefs, that has been moved. The weather's going to be treacherous. It's supposed to be a 1 o'clock start, but they got to move the game. So if you got something to do, if church is going to run late, good. That's a good week for it to do it, because this game is not going to start until 8:20 because of the weather. They pushed it all the way back because apparently it's going to be like an ice storm. People here in the A know all about that, ice storms and all that kind of stuff, which is going to present another problem. Like, okay, even if the teams are able to get there to the stadium, what about the fans? If it's going to be like that crazy up there, so that's going to be an interesting one. And part of the advantage, like part of the real advantage for Kansas City, is their home crowd. It's one of the loudest stadiums in the league, and so they earned it. But we'll see by 8:20. We'll see if it's nullified because of the weather. And then you got the Packers and Cowboys. The Packers and the Cowboys are actually going to be before that game now. No Jordy Nelson, which is ironic. It's an ironic kind of like twist of fate type thing, because he got hurt against the Packers, and it was on the play that, reminds me that the NFL has caused you people to forget what football looks like. Oh, that's really an illegal hit. He hit him right in the ribs with his helmet. Get your ass out of here, man. That's a football play. Yeah, dislodge the football. Everybody worrying about their head. Now we worrying about the damn ribs. You got to worry about everything. Hit that dude and make him drop the ball like you did, and puncture his damn lung. It's football. That's what they signed up for. So anyway, he ain't going to be playing because his lung done collapsed after, I forget who hit him. Was it DRC that hit him? One of them dudes, one of them corners for the Giants hit him. But as we know, the Giants are the team that gave the Cowboys the most hell this season, and in a kind of in an ironic way, guess what? They're going to be the ones who inevitably end up possibly helping the Cowboys win on Sunday. These rookies they got over there. Oh, I didn't even mention this the other day. Y'all know Randy Gregory got suspended again? The second round pick out of Nebraska for the Cowboys, the pass rusher. Like, he came back for one game, cuz. Oh, the NFL is such a joke, man. Like, it's one of them things, man. Like, it's crazy as hell, because my man, like, he told people before the draft at the combine, he's one of the guys who admitted it. That, like, look, man, I got like different emotional things that's going on with me, and the weed is the one thing that helps. And if you're not trying to help this dude in that area, that he's admitted, like, this is not a dude like people keep saying Josh Gordon got a problem and all these people got problems trying to diagnose themselves from, or diagnose these guys from their couches. He's a guy who says he has these emotional issues, and the NFL is just saying, you know what, F you, dude, stop smoking, suspended. But player safety though, right? Player safety. Yeah, it's all good. We're going to take a break here, come back. I told you I'm going to see Hidden Figures tonight. We're going out we got to go to the White Theater too. You know, Y'all already know. We got to go to where the white folks go see it at. But yeah, me and the old lady going to go check that out. But coming up next, former Falcon great, former Redan Raider for the people here in the A, my man, friend of the show, Terance Mathis, coming back to talk to us about the game tomorrow. Talk to us about what he's got going on philanthropically. What's going on with my mouth? I know that's what she said too. And talk to us about the past and the present and the future teams here in Atlanta. I'll be right back.
I have one question for you.
Do you or someone you know run a business that could benefit from additional exposure? The One Mic with Big Mike show is currently taking on new sponsors and advertisers. One Mic with Big Mike is currently syndicated across 8 different online platforms, and your company's name could be heard and seen across all 8 as well.
Let's get to work.
Please send all inquiries to Mike at onemicwithbigmike.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your continued support.
All I need is one mic.
I'm in almost every school bus and classroom. I go to school with your children. We say the Pledge of Allegiance together. You see me around the neighborhood and you tell me that I'm a pretty good kid. Well, I'm one out of every 5 children in America, and I'm struggling with hunger. This problem is closer than you think. My teacher tells me we can grow up to be whatever we want. I want to grow up to be someone who doesn't go to bed hungry. There's enough food in this country to feed everybody. Please visit feedingamerica.org today and find your local food bank for ways to help. Every dollar you donate helps provide 8 meals for kids like me, quietly struggling with hunger. Together, we are Feeding America, brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
And now, back to One Mic.
What are we waiting for? Let's get to it.
With Big Mike.
Welcome back to the One Mic with Big Mike show here on a Friday. Renee, can you check this number, please? Because the number just told me that it's not in service or something like that. I'm gonna call it again here. We're trying to get in touch with our guest, Terance Mathis. This song was so damn hard. Didn't somebody just make a song about this? Like a dance record? One of these young cats make a dance record off this? This probably needs to stand on its own. These cats here from Ellenwood, Decatur area, crime mob. It is the One Mic with Big Mike show. I'm here. Spreaker.com, the Spreaker app as well, is on TuneIn, and of course, onemicwithbigmike.com, the website. Oh, I'm dialing the wrong number. Renee. My bad. That's on me. Y'all bear with me 1 second. Don't forget the show is also available on demand on all 4 of those outlets, as well as on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and YouTube. Having such a hard time dialing this damn number. I got it, Renee. I got it. Because I'm an idiot. Like I was about to start saying it out loud. Because that's how I roll. God dog it. Y'all just bear with me. Y'all can wait a couple seconds for freaking Terance Mathis, can't you? Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the number 1, MICWITHBIGMIKE. Also, make sure you guys hashtag Big Mike's Brims, BIGMIKE. SBRIMS for your chance to win some brand new Mitchell & Ness or New Era hats. All right, here we go. Finally. God, I'm such an idiot. You can get in contact with the show by texting me at 404-902-8104. You can also leave your comments right below the live streaming video. I'm streaming a live video on my Facebook page, which is at the number 1, MICWITHBIGMIKE. Or, of course, just hop on in the live interactive chat room, and we'll try to make that happen for you. All right, let's see who's talking crap here. I know somebody is. All right, we got Terance Mathis getting on the line real quick. Sorry, you guys. All right. What's going on, Terance?
Hey, what's going on, man?
I don't know it, dog. I was trying to call you during the break, but I'm an idiot, and I was calling the wrong number, so I had to wait until we was already back from the break, and that's why it sounds like this. That's why it's no like, hey, how you doing, brother, and whatever.
Man, I'm doing great, man. I just walked into the Hawks game. I'm going to get in a place where you can hear me, so I'm going to speak loud enough.
No, you good,
so
brother.
You can hear me.
You ain't got to yell at me.
Okay. All right.
What's been going on with you, man? Last time we talked, man, you had the golf tournament going on, and you're one of those people. I was talking about you in the first segment, man. You're one of those people that even though you're done with your playing career, you're still doing your philanthropic thing, and I can 100% appreciate that. So, what you got going on now? You know, the golf tournament's over. How'd that go, and what you got going on now?
Well, right now, I'm just staying busy. I'm coaching at the local high school in my area, Lambert High School. And
well, what happened? Redan wouldn't have you?
That's so far from where I live.
Oh, no doubt.
I would
doubt.
love to go over there if I lived over that way. But I'm just raising my kids. I got a senior that's she'll be graduating and going off to college, and I got a freshman in high school, and right now we're just being parents and just trying to raise the kids best we can.
Look at you, man. Good for you, man, because those are the ones, we need them. We need your 17 and your 18-year-old here the next 4 years, my man, or after 4 years, because things got to change, and they the ones that's going to do it. They're seeing all this mess that's going on. They the ones that's going to have to do it. You guys make sure you're following Terance at Terance, Mathis on Twitter and Instagram. We got to talk about a couple of things. I wanted to have you on because this is Falcons team. It's about to kick off tomorrow. They're about to play the Seahawks again tomorrow. I, for one, feel like this team can be a boom or bust situation. Like, for as much as I believe that they can go all the way to the championship, to the Super Bowl, I also believe that this team has the ability to lose tomorrow as well, because I don't really see it necessarily a front runner in the NFC. Do you see it that same way?
Well, you know what? I don't see them losing tomorrow.
Okay.
It's just, it's Seattle is an up and down team right now, but they're the most experienced team of the two. But when you're riding a wave like the Falcons are riding and no one's expecting you to win, so you go out and play a little looser, because you know that all the pressures are on the Seahawks coming in here, not on the Falcons playing the Seahawks.
You don't think so? Matt Ryan being 1-4?
Yeah, but you can say that, but at the same time, it has to happen, man. It has to happen. I see the similarities between the 98 team and this team. How when going into that first round of the playoffs, having to bye, playing the San Francisco 49ers with Owens, Young, and Rice, and those guys, and we beat them at home. And then the following week, you're playing the number one team in the conference, which was the Minnesota Vikings, and it looks like, the Falcons, after winning tomorrow, may get the Cowboys and not expecting to win that game. So I see the similarities. I see the road where it's going. And I understand the skepticism from people about this Falcons team because, when they get to the playoffs, they don't win. And you playing the Seahawks team who has all these veterans on there and with a lot of experience in the playoffs and Super Bowl championships and appearances. But at the same time, I think Coach Quinn got these guys going. I think they really got them going.
What's that like? Being that number 1 or 2 seed, having that bye, and having to wait on your opponent, and you're playing? I think, fortunately for the Falcons, they are playing this up and down team. They didn't draw that Packers team that's been on the road for week after week after week. But it is still a team that they've seen before. So give me 2 scenarios here. Tell me what's that like when you have to sit back and wait a week. What's that week like leading up to that second round game? And also, what are the advantages and disadvantages of playing a team for the second time now being in the playoffs?
Well, that week off is good for your body, for one. And then I remember just watching that 49ers Green Bay game back in 98 and going, okay, we see who we're going to play now. Let's go to work. And I guarantee you that's the same feeling they had after they seen Seattle beat Detroit.
Do guys ever have preferences?
No, didn't have preferences because you had confidence in what you had.
Okay.
You knew what you were doing. So it didn't matter. It shouldn't matter who you play if you have confidence in what you're doing.
Gotcha.
And you got a good game plan offensively and defensively. So it shouldn't matter. So, I think that the advantages of playing the Seahawks the second time around, getting them at home where you think you got a bad call the first time and probably should have won that game. I think that played a good part of couldn't wait to see these guys again. Thing for the Falcons.
I was talking to D. Orlando Ledbetter, the beat writer for the Falcons yesterday, or Wednesday, I should say, on my show, and he said something that was kind of eye-opening to me. It was kind of, I didn't expect him to say it. He said this particular team, he feels like they're in the beginning of like a 5-hour playoff window. When you guys lost that Super Bowl in '98, what was the attitude afterwards? Was it an attitude like, oh man, we missed an opportunity? Or did you guys feel like, you talk about confidence, did you feel like, well, we're in our window now, we can work and get back again next year?
Well, it was one of those things that we knew we'd screw up an opportunity of a lifetime. We knew that. And it wasn't one of those feelings in the locker room of can't wait till next year. It wasn't that feeling. It was like, you know what? This was an opportunity. We don't know if we're going to get back next year, and we squandered this opportunity. But then, after a week or two passed, and you look at the film and the game, and you go, we were in this game if we'd have made a couple of plays, or if we'd have stopped them from making a play or two. And then you going, waiting till next year, and then that's that feeling, waiting till next year. But, the thing is, you have to really have something inside of you knowing that this is the ultimate game that I'm going to get a chance to play in, and I cannot squander this moment.
I got you.
Because you can't get this moment back. You lose tomorrow, there's no game next week. Mm-hmm. So you have to play your best game every week going into the Super Bowl and take it to the next level in the Super Bowl.
Talking right now on the One Mic with Big Mike show to the pride of Redan High School. He's also a Falcon great, one of the best receivers to ever play for the organization. He is Terance Mathis. Follow him on Twitter and Instagram at TERANCEMATHIS. Let's talk about distractions as we hear this term all the time. And I was talking to Ben Troop last week about this thing, distractions. We know about the Odell Beckham Jr. thing. I'm going to Miami with you guys in '98. There was the Eugene Robinson thing. Once the ball kicks off, are players, is that even a second thought? Like if you go down in the game, do you think to yourself, oh man, and one of the plays, of course, Rod Smith beat Eugene on a post. So at any point do you say, man, if this didn't happen, we would be this way in this game? Or is it just like, look, we got beat. We played the game, we got beat. And is that distraction thing just a media creation to drum up stories?
That's what it is. That's what it is, because you got to understand, you are a grown man.
Yeah.
You're a grown man, and if you can't go out and do your job at the best of the abilities, despite of what else is going on, you shouldn't be playing this game. You get paid a lot of money to do this. So if something of a week ago that happened, or a few days ago it happened before a game, and it's still on your mind on game day, you're not strong enough to be playing this game.
There it is.
Because once that ball is kicked off, your job is to do your job to the best of your ability. And you can't worry about, what happened 3 days before, the night before, or the week before, or whatsoever. You can't worry about that, because your focus for those 4 quarters need to be on your business at hand. Now, when the game is over with, you handle it. Mm-hmm. But when the game is going on, you just got to play.
And like a lot of people give Eugene Robinson, still give him crap for that, because you know how the fans here in Atlanta are. Like, nothing ever gets let go. You remember when they traded Dominique? Man, that was some bull. You remember when, like, everything is about these terrible things that happened in the past, but a lot of people don't recognize. Didn't Eugene get vindicated from that? Didn't he get cleared from that later on?
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
he did.
But no one talks about that.
People don't understand. He was cleared from it because it was a setup.
Right.
He didn't do anything.
Yeah,
but
man.
People don't understand that. That's the sad thing about it. He was cleared. He was acquitted from all charges because it was fabricated and a setup.
But people need something.
People don't understand.
Yeah,
that.
people need something to hang the loss on.
Now, if you really want to get in depth with it,
let's go.
It's been talked about, but it hasn't been talked about enough. On Wednesday, when we put in the game plan offensively and defensively, it was nothing we did the whole year.
Oh.
It was a whole new game plan. So we had to learn a whole new game plan.
Whose call was that?
In Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, getting ready to play the biggest game of our lives.
Was that Coach Reeves' call?
That was his decision. Let me tell you why it was his decision.
Okay.
Mike Shanahan was his offensive coordinator at the Denver Broncos when he was at the Denver Broncos.
Absolutely.
So he figured that staff knew what his philosophy was and what we were going to do offensively and defensively. So guess what? We tricked ourselves.
Yeah. You know what's funny about that? You know what's funny? You know who gets a bunch of crap for not doing that? You remember that Super Bowl where Tampa Bay just killed the Raiders because John Gruden left, and then my man was still there, and then you can hear when they do like the playbacks, John Lynch and Derrick Brooks is like, it was just like we practiced. We knew every play they was gonna run. So it seems like you're kind of damned if you do and you're damned if you don't a little bit, ain't it?
No, right.
Wow.
You're right.
Wow.
You're right. But my whole thing is this. Give us a chance to do what we've been doing
best.
all year long.
Yeah.
And then if it didn't work, let's make adjustments at halftime or on the sideline between series.
I can dig it. I got a couple.
So, it was one of those nights where you going, you know what? You feel good about the game because it's the Super Bowl. You're optimistic about the game because you know what you've done for 11 straight weeks, win 11 games in a row, upset the number one team in NFL football 2 weeks prior. So you're feeling good about that. But at the same time, at the back of your mind, you
kind of worried.
The system wasn't right.
Yeah.
But you was trying your best. Like I was telling you about distraction, it didn't matter because we had to go out and execute anyway. But then when it's all said and done, you're going, we screw up an opportunity of a lifetime.
Wow. Let's talk a little bit more about the fans. And you're the perfect person for me to talk to about this because not only did you play for the team, you're from here. You're the perfect person. So you've seen the fandom from a fan's perspective growing up, and then you also have that perspective as a player. In a time like this, when there's so much optimism, because I remember that season. I was in college. And I remember every week when y'all would win, we'd get back on the practice field on Tuesday, and me and a couple of other guys from Atlanta and some other guys from Alabama, we'd be like, man, y'all see the Falcons? Y'all see what's going on down there? You see what's going on? And every week it was like a little bit more and a little bit more and more and more. And then the culmination in the playoffs, like you hear now, nobody expected this year's team to be in this position. What are these players feeling like walking around the city? What's the buzz like that around the city from a player's point of view when the team has so many expectations on it? Because like you said, the fans here are a little bit different than everywhere else. They're like really, really high, or they're really, really pessimistic as well. They like way over optimistic or way over pessimistic. So from a player, how do you feel when you're walking around the city at a time like this?
Well, the year we were doing what we were doing, the city embraced us.
Yeah.
When I say embrace it, because we were in the city all the time, doing stuff, dinner, hanging out, functions, foundation events, whatsoever. So the city got to see us and got to know us. So they embraced us. So they were with us during that whole winning streak, and it was marvelous because it was like they knew us. It's funny because when I come back to the Dome and see some of the people that's been there, still there when I was there, they always say that team is like a family.
Word.
We knew everybody. We don't know many guys on this team. So the thing is that fans will root for you and really support you if they know you personally, will know a little bit about you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
And it doesn't matter, if they don't know you and they can't engage with you and say, hey, I met him over here, or hey, I remember sitting down at lunch with him or whatsoever. It's harder to. It's almost like, well, we lose, we lose. If we win, we win. Yay, we won. But if we lose, it's almost like I told you so.
Right. It's always that way, my man. Always.
I knew it. But you know what that is for fans? It's their grief relief, as I call it.
Yeah.
Where we lost, and I knew we was going to do it. You hurting inside, but you trying to tell yourself that I'm not really hurt.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. She broke up with me, but I ain't want to go with her no more anyway.
I ain't want to go with her anyway. I was going to break up with her, but I'm glad she did it.
Right. I got a couple more questions here from my man, friend of the show, Terance Mathis, former Falcon. We had to look it up because I was saying before I got you one, I was like, Terance was like the top receiver, but then all these young cats, Roddy, and now Quintorris over there doing all this work. Like every time you turn around, he's going to be falling a little bit lower, but now you still number 2. So that's held up for some years, my man. So big up to you.
Yeah.
You talk about the guys that were on that team. And here's something I always wonder, because I've worked with Chuck. I've had Bob used to do a weekly thing on our previous show. I've met Ray before. We talked to Jamal a couple of times. Give me something that if it happened today with that bunch of crazy guys like Tim Dwight and all these crazy dudes on this team, give me something that if it happened today would just break the internet.
Oh my goodness!
yeah. See, like that one. Yeah, give me the one that made you laugh immediately.
We get together and we talk about this all the time. We always say if there was camera phones and all that stuff back when we played,
right?
You see a lot of crap. I'm talking about from that whole era. I'm not just talking about from our team.
That's what when they was talking about Odell Beckham Jr. I was like, do y'all know what used to happen in Dallas with Michael Irvin and Eric Williams and those dudes?
Oh my God! You know what used to happen here in Atlanta? It was just things happening. I don't like doing. I can't tell you stuff, but let me tell you, if we had camera phones back then and the internet the way it is now and all the media outlets the way it is now, it'd be the wild, wild South. I'm telling you, it'd be truly the dirty South, as they call it.
I could just picture it, man, because like the guys I just mentioned, you got Ray Buchanan, Jamal Anderson. Everybody know Jamal having his little issues now. You got Chuck Smith is in there, Tim Dwight, Bob, Big Bob Whitfield, up a bunch of crazy dudes. I can just imagine like the wildness.
We had a lot of character.
Absolutely.
We had a lot of character. But the beauty of it all, we had individuals, individual characters and personalities, but when it was time to play, we all played for each other and played together.
That's what it is. And don't worry, I see how you just smooth got out the question, but I'm going to go ahead and let that ride. You just like smooth, hit me with the camera phone thing. How much does politics come up in the locker room? Because now I was talking about, before you came on, talking about how the fan base in New England, I saw an article today that the fan base in New England is kind of split a little bit, kind of soured a little bit on the Patriots because of Bob Kraft and Belichick and Brady's friendship with Donald Trump. And apparently the New England area was won by Hillary Clinton. And I was thinking about this all throughout the season when you see guys like Rex Ryan going and introducing Trump at a rally and Nick Bango from the Jets introducing Trump at a rally. How much does that play into, do you like, when things like that, well, nothing like that has ever happened with this guy, but like when political things come up, is that something that gets discussed in the locker room?
It does. A lot of things get discussed. And politics is one of them, but you got to understand, you got to respect each one's opinion whatsoever. But one thing that we never did was try to throw our opinions on to another person. And we tried to separate that. We tried to separate that from that locker room politics to the national politics or the public politics. Because the thing is, you always want to show a united front in the locker room,
right?
And on the field, and we all know we're from different walks of life and believe in different things. But when you put that logo on, it's a united front. But when you take that logo off and leave that complex and go home, okay, that's your business. That's your business, And the thing is, I can't get mad at somebody if they have a political opinion over mine whatsoever, and they're out there publicly saying it. I can't knock that. But long as it's not affecting what we do in the locker room, I'm okay with it. Yeah,
and I always felt like that was the attitude towards most things. You talked about the dome closing. Like, you're a guy who had a bunch of success in the dome. Were you there the other day, by the way, when Vic and Michael Turner and them guys and Roddy came back? Did you come back?
Yeah, I was there. I was there. Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say, because I didn't go to the game. I just saw the stuff on Twitter, and everything was about Mike coming back. So a lot of the other players didn't really get mentioned. Good. Give me some of your most. Give me right. Give me some of your most memorable, the most memorable moments for you personally and as a team that came out of that dome, since it's going to be no more after this offseason.
Well, I can always go back to the 95 season, where we was playing the 49ers last game of the year, and we needed to win that game to get into the playoffs. And I remember I caught a ball and scored a winning touchdown, dove into the end zone, and that was probably one of the most memorable, my first memorable moment as an Atlanta Falcon. I mean, I caught a lot of balls and scored a lot of touchdowns, but that was one of the most memorable. And I would think, of course, winning that first playoff game in '98, knowing that we're about to go on the road and how the fans, really really enjoyed that and endeared that moment. And he stayed out on the field for it seemed like hours, running around, shaking hands, waving, and that thing. And I think, probably the biggest moment ever was the winning the NFC Championship and getting the opportunity to catch the tying touchdown to pretty much help us tie the game up and go into overtime. And I think that was a big point in my career. And then, of course, the Super Bowl. I mean, we're not talking about those two things. We're not talking about the dome, but the Super Bowl.
Right.
And I got an opportunity to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl where they're Hall of Famers that never played in the Super Bowl, let alone catch a touchdown. So it was my career in Atlanta. I never forget. I'll be a Dirty Bird for life.
Absolutely, they won't let you leave.
I appreciate the fans and all the players that I've played with. It's just been amazing, man.
Last thing I got for you, and by the way, thank you for your time. He's Terance Mathis, former Falcon. Well, not former. Dirty Bird for life at Terance Mathis on Twitter and Instagram. He's also the pride of Redan High School right here in the DeKalb County area. I have this thing that I always talk about where I don't believe as fans we really know what we're looking at. And I hear Dan Lebatard say it all the time. And he's right. I don't think as fans we really know what we're looking at because there's so many things that go into a play. But from a guy who played, I want to ask you about one particular person, Quintorris Lopez-Jones. Okay. As a guy who played the position, when you watch that kid play, what do you see? Because it's beyond amazing at some points. But as a guy who can really appreciate it, like a wine connoisseur, the difference between me drinking wine and somebody who studied wine and knows wine sees it. How do you see Julio Jones on Sundays?
I tell people all the time, hands down, he's the best wide receiver in the NFL today.
Hands down?
He's the new prototype wide receiver.
Word.
Everyone's going to try to go out and get that type of guy.
Good luck.
And there's only one.
Yeah, good luck on that.
You can compare to that whatsoever. I told this to a reporter last week before the game, 2 weeks ago. And I said this about Roddy White. And he is our modern-day Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, and that's big praise. Let me tell you why.
I got my mouth open like, what?
Jerry Rice ran good routes. He can beat you deep. He can catch it short and take it to the house. He'll go across the middle, and he'll block for you.
Everything.
That's Julio Jones.
Yeah.
The most unselfish wide receiver I've seen in years.
That's good stuff. Damn.
That's that guy.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. That I can't ask you nothing after that. We're gonna wrap it up on that. Go enjoy the game. Hawks got the Celtics tonight down at the Phillips Arena, man. Enjoy the game. Al Horford down there. Dwight Howard should be a good matchup, man. Enjoy yourself. Appreciate it, Terance.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Thank you.
That man said that's the new Jerry Rice, the GOAT, homie. I'm always the guy that's like, I like Julio's game. And see, this is why I don't get into that whole nonsense about embracing debate and all that kind of stuff, because what you end up doing a lot of times is you end up debating great versus great versus great. Because I'm looking at Julio and I'm looking at Antonio Brown, you tell me that if you had a draft today, right, and you got the second pick, you'd be mad with those two dudes, right? Like whoever got picked first, that you'd be like, oh man, I can't believe I ain't get Antonio Brown. I can't believe I ain't get Julio. No, you won't. You'd be ecstatic. So there's really no debate to be had. And obviously, man, Terance has a little bit of a skewed perception or perspective on it because he is an Atlanta Falcon, and there's really no way you can't argue with him on that. When this dude tell you he's the best receiver in the league, what's the argument? Yeah, you can say Antonio Brown, you can say your man Odell Beckham. There's a lot of good receivers in the league, but how you separate them? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe we'll find out this weekend. We got some playoff. I'm looking at the TV right now. Marcus Smart on my TV. Got some playoff football going on this weekend. A lot of times we see guys separate themselves in the playoffs. But let's say Julio goes out and he has one of those games where the Seattle Seahawks do everything they can to take him away from the offense. He ends up catching 3 balls for 48 yards or something like that. Win or lose, right? Because we know Matt Ryan's the guy who gets everybody the football. I think he had was it something like 16 or 18 touchdown passes or touchdown passes to 16 different dudes or something crazy like that this year? Ridiculous numbers like that. Yeah, I don't think if Julio has a performance like that, and then Antonio Brown goes off against the Chiefs, folks gonna be like, yep, see, there it is. That's the difference. Like, for my money, I think Antonio Brown is the better wide receiver because he don't have the physical tools to dominate somebody like Julio Jones. And it's crazy to hear me like lightweight punish this dude for being a beast physically. But like, I watched Antonio Brown and he don't get double teamed. Like, I don't mean they don't try to double team him. they just can't. You know what I mean? So no live tune in today. I got to email them folks and I keep forget. Actually, I did email them. I forgot that I emailed them. I emailed them yesterday so we can get that rectified again. Cause it's like the second time this has happened. So what we'll do, we'll come back. I got some NBA stuff. I still got some hashtag put it on the polls for you guys as well. Let's start with this one. Going to break, Renee. Hashtag put it on the poll brought to us by sportsnewsandbrews.com. Who's most likely to get upset this weekend? Or which game are you most likely to see an upset in? And that would be the Steelers, Chiefs, the Texans, Patriots, the Falcons, and the Seahawks, or the Cowboys and the Packers. Hashtag put it on the poll brought to us by sportsnewsandbrews.com. We'll be back in just a second right here on the One Mic with Big Mike show.
I have one question for you.
Do you or someone you know run a business that could benefit from additional exposure? The One Mic with Big Mike show is currently taking on new sponsors and advertisers. One Mic with Big Mike is currently syndicated across 8 different online platforms, and your company's name could be heard and seen across all 8 as well.
Let's get to work.
Please send all inquiries to Mike at onemicwithbigmike.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your continued support.
All I need is one mic.
Dave, what are you doing?
Just sending a gift to Dave 2037.
Who?
Me in the future. I save a little money from every paycheck as a gift to Dave 2037, so he can spend it on things like anti-gravity boots or a hologram Doberman, something cool like that. I think Dave 2037 deserves it. He worked hard. What are you getting Steve 2037?
I guess I was thinking Steve 2037 would just fend for himself.
Well, all right, but don't expect to be borrowing my anti-gravity boots.
You want to have money in your future? You got to start saving now. Putting some money from every paycheck into a savings account or contributing to your 401k can make a big difference.
On demand on TuneIn, as well as the other 3 outlets, and on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube, to the iTunes. Follow me on iHeart. Follow me on Stitcher, Google Play. Follow me on TuneIn as well. You guys can also like my Facebook page. I would appreciate it if you do, because I'm streaming live video there right now. It's at the number 1 MIC, WITHBIGMIKE. Also, you can text the show if you want to at 404-902-8104. Shout out to the homie Terance Mathis, man, for hopping on with your man from the Hawks game, of all things, man. Good for that dude, man, or good for me, and I appreciate that dude. Also, you guys can jump inside my live interactive chat room. You got to be listening to me via Spreaker, or that's the only way you can be listening to me. So if you hear me right now, just click on that little thought bubble icon that you see on the streaming player. It'll get you up in this live interactive chat room. I am no dose in there being a jerk. And then he's being joined by Renee. Like, that's all Renee needs for her jerkism, is to have a jerk be her company. So congratulations, I am no dose and Renee Cooper. Gee whiz. All right, so it's that time of the show. We got to take a look back, give you guys some little factoids. This is going to be the last segment of the show because I got to go get ready, take my shower and all that kind of stuff. We're going to go see a movie tonight. Me and the old lady, we about to go check out Hidden Figures at the it ain't even really a white theater, but it's not the black one either. You know what I'm saying? It's not a white one. We ain't gonna drive that far, but still, it's not the hood one. You know what I mean? Because I want to hear the movie first of all, and I don't want all this extra emotion going on during my movie watching experience after they charged me $84 just to watch the damn thing.
Now, let's take a look back. On this day.
All right, here's your final on this day for the week. On this day in 1986, we didn't even start that far back. The NCAA adopted the controversial proposition. Nah, it says Proposal 48 on here, but we used to know it as Proposition 48, which sets standards for Division I freshman eligibility. And what that is, for those of you who don't know, is it used to be if you weren't eligible, NCAA eligible, you could still attend the college but not participate in any of the football or basketball or whatever activities, and work on your eligibility during that first year. It helped out a lot of people that I know because it ended before I needed it, but it ended before it was time for me to go to college. But a lot of people before me, it helped them out, get into colleges that they wouldn't have otherwise gotten into. And as you can see, that's probably the reason why they had to end the damn thing. Why they didn't have to, but why they did. On this day in 1991, a fight and a stampede at a preseason exhibition match between South Africa's football teams, the Chiefs and the Pirates, in the town of Orkney and Johannesburg, South Africa. It leaves 42 people dead. That's tragic. On this day in 1994, if you're old enough, you remember this. Tanya Harding's bodyguard, Sean Eric Eckhart, and Derek Bryan Smith are arrested and charged with the conspiracy to in an attack of skater Nancy Kerrigan. You remember why? They like clubbed her in the leg so she couldn't skate. On this day in 1998, CBS pays $4 billion to televise the AFC games for 8 years. On this day in 1999, after 13 years of playing NBA basketball, superstar Michael Jeffrey Jordan announces his second retirement. Who you ever hear that about? His second retirement from basketball, and it was one to come after that too. On this day in 2002, the AFC divisional playoffs for the New England Patriots defeat the Oakland Raiders 16-13 in overtime, and their home finale in Foxborough Stadium. That was the infamous, I think, the Tuck Rule game. I think that was it in 2002, where Charles Woodson hit Tom Brady, and it started, it kind of created a monster for the NFL in Tom Brady. I think that was his first win, his first championship that he won, I think. On this day in 2005, it was, because that was Janet Jackson's breasticle year. It was 2003. Shout out to Janet Jackson. She just had a baby too, dude, at 50 years old. Shout out to her. On this day in 2005, the American Major League Baseball and the Players Association agree in principle to a stricter steroid testing policy. The new program would randomly test players year-round. Yeah, good luck on that. And finally, in 2005, you guys remember this, Joe Buck blowing his stack over this foolishness. The NFL fined Randy Moss of the Minnesota Vikings $10,000 for pretending to pull down his pants and moon the Green Bay Packers crowd during a playoff win the previous weekend. You remember Joe Buck was like, that's just so disgusting, with no mention of the fact that the same fans were showing their bare asses and throwing feces at the team bus when Minnesota came to town. Like, what part of the game? Like, how you just have like feces on deck to chunk at somebody? Yeah, yeah. But Randy Moss was deplorable, and that was just disgusting. If you're Joe Buck, he's such an over dumbass, man. And now ESPN uses that as a part of one of their promos. Like Trent Dilfer is messing with Randy Moss about it. Anyway, that is your Friday edition of On This Day. The last one for the week. Shout out to the Rooney Rule, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to the Rooney Rule. Coming next year, if nothing traumatic happens, there'll be 8 bruhs. No, let me back up. Not 8 bruhs. No. What? Yeah, those. Renee's like, whatever. The white people are clapping during the movie when I went. Yeah, all those chicks that was in there clapping, they got black baby daddies. They don't count. I'm talking about like the grown ones. Yeah, white folks ain't for all that craziness. They the main ones that be like, oh my God, honey, are you gonna say something to them? And then the white dude was like, no. Yeah. Like black people hate when stereotypes are accurate. The negative ones, they hate those. All right. Well, like you let some chick walk up to a dude and be like, you know what? You're a black guy. I know you have a huge penis. Like, ain't nobody gonna correct them. Ain't nobody gonna be like, it's just a stereotype. And you ain't gonna get mad either. You're like, appreciate it, shawty. Yeah, the good ones come with the bad ones, man. So yeah, you MFers don't know how to shut the hell up in the damn movies. Got your babies in there crying and all this kind of craziness. Get a babysitter, man. Or don't come. I ain't paying money for that, to hear little Jacquez howling and screaming at the top of his damn lungs. Anyway. Shout out to the Rooney Rule. The Rooney Rule. We're gonna have 8 minority head coaches, not eight bruhs. But like, come on, man, we all in the same game. Let's not get it twisted. Like it's real. What you mean? Oh, hashtag put it on the poll. Here we go. Renee said, "Name me a good stereotype about black women." I got a black woman. I got plenty. I don't even know if we can put this on the poll. Oh, yeah, we can. Are there any good stereotypes about black women? Yes or no? Simple, Renee. Don't put no other stuff. Yes or no? Hashtag put it on the poll, brought to us by sportsnewsandbrews.com. There are plenty, man. My woman is beautiful and she's black. I mean, black stereotypes. Black women have big asses. You don't hear me complain at all about that. Now, of course, not 100%. Some black women ain't got no junk back there. But yeah, I would venture to say the majority, that there's a strong majority of black women that have nice asses, man. So yeah, let's not did that, And then two, black women make up their own stereotypes as well. I'm a strong black woman. It's never just a black woman. Strong black woman. So you brag about your own strength. And you don't hear nobody saying, that ain't true. I think for most of the bruhs, we got mamas and we love our mamas and we believe our moms to be strong women and they black. So if a woman says, I'm a strong black woman, who gonna correct them? Not me, unless, of course, you know the truth. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, let's run it. Yeah, so hashtag put it on the poll. Are there any good? Instead of putting good, put positive. Are there any positive? Because good is like, yeah, put positive. Any positive stereotypes about black women? Hashtag put it on the poll. What was I talking about? Oh, Rooney Rule. So you got Anthony Lynn. He's going to be coaching the L.A. Chargers. Vance Joseph moving from Miami to Denver. Of course, you got the holdovers and Marvin Lewis and Mike Tomlin, Jim Caldwell, Hugh Jackson, Ron Rivera. He's not a bruh, but, a Hispanic bruh. And, of course, Todd Bowles up there in New York. So, shout out to the Rooney Rule. That's 8 out of 32 for those of you who are doing the math. That's a fourth. That's a quarter. By the way, we're 1/13 of the population. So, well over the average. I think the league can do better. But for what it's worth, man, shout out to the Rooney Rule. Because, some of these guys, like Vance Joseph, he's a guy who made his impression in his first interview. And made such an impression that the next time he became available, it was like, boom, no doubt. Let's run it. Anthony Lynn, same thing, man. I think Anthony Lynn was in Buffalo doing work. So, yeah, shout out to him. And then also, I got some other news on some bros. That's pretty good news because I remember 2 years ago talking about the Rooney Rule and how you're more likely to be promoted to the area of head coach if you have an offensive background. So, shout out to Broncos running back coach Eric Studesville. He's going to be interviewing for the Jets OC job. Leslie Frazier, you guys remember Leslie. Leslie's going up there to Buffalo to be the defensive coordinator. He used to be the head coach up there in Minnesota. Another bruh, Steve Wilkes. He got promoted, which is a weird promotion too because he was the DB coach for the Panthers, and now he's the defensive coordinator. And that was his group that Julio torched for 500 yards. So, but shout out to him. Get it how you live, B. And while we're talking about this, yeah, this is gonna lead me to everything I want to talk about for the rest of the show, and that's gonna do it. Renee, if you could, I'll give you guys the results from the poll questions on Monday. We'll let them marinate a little bit, and then we'll come back on Monday. But Stephen A. Smith, the man who sees racism where there is none. And especially around this time of year, he's always like, "What happened to the?" He's like, "My man don't do the right thing. Why ain't got no brothers on the wall? Why we got no brothers being coaches?" So now the brothers getting coaching gigs, right? I just mentioned 8 out of 32 now. Brothers getting coaching gigs, which by the way, Marvin Lewis will probably be gone next year if the Bengals don't shape up or whatever the term is. But as of right now, 8. So Stephen A. Smith hears about this dude in L.A. The kid's 30 years old. His name escapes me right now, but the LA Rams just hired a 30-year-old head coach. Kid was the offensive coordinator over in DC with Kirk Cousins. And for what it's worth, people made kind of a deal about it, him being 30. And I think all that's because people are used to one thing. People are used to these old, crusty Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick white boys being the coach, and then you have these bad experiences with guys like Josh McDaniels and guys like Lane Kiffin, so it feels like you're just too young to do it. But let's keep it real. Look at what the world is right now. Who's creating everything? Young cats. Uber, Facebook, all these things that we love and cherish. These ain't 70-year-old cats doing this, man. The 70-year-old cats they too worried about ruining the government. You know what I mean? And ruining the world with the government. To be innovative. So if you're looking for an innovative mind, somebody to take a team and give your team some creative juice, Why not a young dude? Like, I don't know enough about this dude to like poo-poo on him, but apparently Stephen A. Smith does. So he goes on to talk about how, like, this is the racist part about it, how, like, you will never see your brother get this kind of job, but in almost the same Sean McVay. Thank you, Renee. Is the guy's name. I'm bristling on calling him a kid because I don't want to do that. You know, he's a grown man with a grown man's job. You know, it's just one of those things like he's 30 years old and you make you look at yourself kind of like, ooh, he's doing that at 30. Ugh. But anyway, so Stephen A. Smith, who very rarely makes the show because I think he's just such a bumbling idiot. And he's such a puppet for them white suits over there at ESPN. And he's been allowed to set the standard for what somebody like me should be. I should be loud and use a bunch of words that no one cares about and be right, and force myself to be right or convince myself that I'm right about things that I don't even care about. I can't rock with it, man. He's a puppet. And like, for what it's worth, he get paid handsomely for his troubles. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But he says, quote, "It rubs me the wrong way because I know," this is where he contradicts himself, "I know Tomlin got the job when he was 34 years old, but by and large, you see these opportunities, you know there is no way in hell an African American is going to get an opportunity like this." Wait, you just made that point that an African American did get an opportunity just like this. A better one, as a matter of fact. They had just won a Super Bowl. He goes on to say, "It's just something that doesn't really, really happen very often. It doesn't happen very often for white boys either. It really ever. There's never been a 30-year-old head coach in the modern era of football. But, you know, people got to see the Klan and everything. You know, look at them. It's a white boy doing something, and I'm sure that must be racist." All right. He goes on to say, "And a lot of white guys ain't getting the opportunity like this. And a lot of white guys ain't getting the opportunity like this." So what are we talking about? Everything, like, you're contradicting your whole point by yourself. So it just reeks of who you know, who you are comfortable with, how you were able to integrate yourself with them or ingratiate yourself with them, as opposed to your legitimate qualifications, which he has no idea what this kid's qualifications are. See, I said kid. This guy's qualifications are. He says, "I got a question about that, particularly when you're asking a head coach to be a leader of men. And some would argue whether a 30-year-old man is enough at that particular junction. Just based on birth certificate alone and whether they are qualified to be leaders of men." End quote. How old was President Obama when he became president the first time? Was he 42? 42 years old? Somebody, can you check on that, Renee? I think the pres was 42. And whatever his age was, I know a lot of people were saying that same thing about him. Oh, he's inexperienced. We don't know what his qualifications are. He's young. Yeah. How many of y'all want to see him go, though, now? You know what I mean? And he led men. He led women, black, white, Hispanic, Native. Like, this whole idea that because someone isn't what you're used to seeing them being, they're just wrong for the position that they're in. It's ridiculous. This is the same country that heard a dude talk about grabbing bras' pussies and said, "You know what? Let's give him a chance." This dude has done nothing like that. This dude in LA, not that I know of. He just got a head football coaching job. And that whole idea about people not respecting you, these players, because they older than him, not being able to respect him. You know what they respect? The ability to win and the ability to learn and feed their families doing what they do. If he can do that, if he can help these people be successful, no one cares how old he is. And if you're that type of dude, it's like if somebody can help you be successful, but you're like, no, whatever, man, that dude ain't number 25 years old. You losing that life. You know what I mean? You losing. If that's your only qualification, because to me, that's no different than saying, well, ain't no way no black doctor can operate on me. Give me a white doctor. Yeah. Neither thing has anything to do with a person's qualifications. His age, like for example, Jeff Fisher. Jeff Fisher got plenty of experience, but plenty of experience at losing. So this is the dude that's replacing Jeff Fisher. He's kind of a blank slate. A guy that'll be open to new ideas. A guy that will probably present new and innovative ideas. This might be the reason that when we was talking about the Lane Kiffin thing, that might be the reason that I was so like pro Lane Kiffin because I like stuff like that. I like people who come with a new perspective on things and don't feel like everything has to be the same way all the time in order for it to be successful. That's stagnant, man. That's crazy as hell. All right, so we got a couple minutes left. Let me make sure. And like I said, I'll give you guys the results to all the poll questions over the weekend, and I'll put a couple up. Like while we watching the game, I'm gonna put a couple poll questions up during the game too. I did it last week Monday during the national championship game, and it rocked all right. So I'm gonna do it a couple more times this weekend while I'm watching the games to kind of interact with you people enough. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at 47. Barack Obama was right. And most of the time, these white boys is like 55, and Donald Trump is like 71 years old or something like that. Like, if you ask me, he's too old. You gonna keep it real? Because people that old ain't malleable. They're not open to new stuff. And that's a problem when the world is changing almost minute by minute. You got to do like that in the White House? And then he ain't, man, you guys have got to. If you don't have HBO, like, find somebody with HBO Go something so you can watch Vice News. Because that's the realest news. Like, it ain't a bunch of fluff. They telling you exactly what's going on in the world. And this dude, Donald Trump, my gosh. But anyway, back to the topic of like seeing race everywhere. Let me tell you guys what Renee did. I'm glad Renee's still here too, and she hadn't bounced because she's not feeling well today. So you guys, I don't know what do people do? Pray or give good thoughts. And if you got the power to do that type of stuff with your mind, do it to Renee, whatever, to make her feel better. All right. So anyway, today I saw something that I thought was like mad hilarious and funny. So I shared it with Renee. I'm watching the Dan Le Batard show. That is a very beautifully stupid show. It's so awesome. It just reminds me of a show that I used to produce with my man Jason Goff and my man Alec Campbell, and nobody really got it. Well, not nobody. The people we worked for didn't really get it. They felt like everything had to be about stats and debate and blah, 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 blah. And we were just trying to kick it and have fun, while talking about sports. But Le Batard doesn't. He does it on a very, very ignorant level and a very, very entertaining level. So today, okay, I'm going to give you guys the front, the back end of the story, and I'm going to go backwards. So I tell Renee, Renee, Le Batard just did a poll. I said he just did a poll for only black people. And it's even funny when I say it. And Renee says, another one bites the dust. And before she says that, though, I said something about my previous show. So I'm like, what does she mean? Does she mean like my show was supposed to get canceled? Like everybody was supposed to get fired? What the hell's happening? And she says, no, that's not what I mean. I'm talking about the Le Batard show. I said, what do you mean? You're not going to listen to it anymore? And she said, exactly. And I said, just based on the information I gave you? I was like, you're a weirdo. And she was like, of course, in her weirdo fashion. She was like, yeah, I'm good with being a weirdo. And why I'm bringing this up is because just because I bring up something about race doesn't mean something racist happened. What they were doing, if she would have just asked, like, what was the poll? What was the poll question? They were talking about white people kissing their dogs. And then they had a dude in the studio that was like, nah, bruh ain't about that life. Like, we love dogs, but we ain't trying to let no dogs kiss us in the mouth. So he put up a poll, and in parentheses, it was like, for black people only. Do you allow your dog to kiss you in the mouth? And it was like 77%, which I'm very disappointed in the other 33, but whatever. 77% was like, nah, they don't rock like that. But the only information I gave Renee was that he put up a poll only for black people, and she was like, done. Out of here. Never again. It's like, come on, that can't be a thing. But you know what I find, though? It's a very prevalent thing in our community, man. Like the first time a white boy says something about somebody black or has a conversation about blackness or black people, it's time to ride. Nah, not always. Sometimes it's just ignorant and fun. And you know what? This dude, Dan Le Batard, is in. He's in like this crazy space where you hear him speak and you look at him and you think he's a white boy speaking, white cat talking, but he's Hispanic. He's a Cubano. So I always say to people, like, look, if you allow like Fat Joe to use the N-word and like it's all good because he's Puerto Rican or whatever, you can't get mad because Dan Le Batard does a freaking 77 and the other are what? Are homie. Or is that supposed to be homo? No homo. Remember we say that all the time? No homo. You had to like preface your comment by that to make sure people didn't know you were gay, as though there was like this outstanding question at all times that, you know what, maybe I should. Yeah. Maybe. One last hashtag, put it on the poll before I get up out of here and go watch Hidden golly figures, because that Hidden Fences thing is so on my mind. Hidden Figures tonight. But anyway, the last hashtag, put it on the poll. Do you feel like you could have been the head coach of a football team at age 31? Regardless of what age you are now, if you're 25 and it's 6 years away, or if you're 45 and it's like way back in the day. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read. Okay. But anyway, yeah. Do you think you could be, hashtag put it on the polls, brought to us by sportsnewsandbrews.com. Do you think that you could have been a professional head coach? Any sport, you choose a sport. A professional head coach at the age of 31. Because the Rams now have themselves. They got a 31-year-old. He'll be 31 at the beginning of the season. And they also have a roommate in the LA Chargers. How you love that? Golly. I had a couple more hashtag put it on the polls as well, but I ain't going to bombard you guys because I only got like 2 more minutes left in the show. We're going to get up out of here. I'm going to take my shower, try to get fresh. We do. Go see this movie. And you know the other reason I like going to the white theater while I got this on my mind, or to a theater where white people go to too, especially to watch movies like this, because I love the uncomfortable air that surrounds me. Like when I went and saw 12 Years a Slave, that was so awesome. I am no those. I was told there would be no math in this game. So what if it's 110? Yeah, 110% Negroes participated in the poll, and only 33% of them said no. Said they love to kiss their dog in the mouth. There. Oh, whatever. What is it? 23%? Yeah, 23% then, or it was 33, but the other number was different. I don't know. A bunch of Negroes still kiss their dog in the mouth is what I got from the whole situation. But anyway, like when I went and saw 12 Years a Slave, like I was sitting next to this mixed couple, and the girl was the white girl. She was the white girl, and the dude was the black guy. So the girl was sitting to my left, and my other lady was sitting to my right. And like while the movie's going on, I'm so silly during movies like this. Like I'm kind of like peeking over at her, like when old girl's getting her ass beat, and like all these crazy stuff is happening. Like when my man like Solomon jumped on the whiteboard that was singing "Run N-word Run," and then during that, I'm laughing during that because the song gets stuck in my head, and I'm thinking to myself, if it's stuck in my head, it's stuck in some of these white people's head in here too, because it's such a catchy tune. He's like, "Run N-word Run." Run N-word run. And I was like, this is gonna be so awesome when these white people gonna be riding home in the car and humming this song. So that's the other reason I like going to the movie theater, where it's like a mixed crowd, and seeing like Django or like 12 Years a Slave or like this joint tonight, because there's certain things that are gonna be so uncomfortable. I'm going to stop watching the movie to watch like the white dude in front of me, or watch what he's doing if he knows when to laugh or he feels uncomfortable about laughing. Yeah, that's part of the experience for me. That's why I go see every movie in the movie theater. And now that I think about it, I should have probably gone and saw what's my man's name, the Nat Turner movie, but obviously I didn't. So there's that. So in summation, it's time to bounce. Appreciate you guys joining me. I am No Dose, Renee, Big L. Appreciate you guys, everybody who checked in and listened and watched on Facebook. The homie, the homeboy, the Cab County's finest, my man Terance Mathis. Appreciate you checking in, homie. He's up here at this Hawks game. The Hawks getting blasted so far, 28-16 by the Boston Celtics. We're going to have this conversation here pretty soon, too. Because after the 4th game of the season, all these people down here was like, look, good thing we got rid of Al and got Dwight. So anyway, man, you guys enjoy your weekend. It's supposed to be a pretty nice one here in the A. Hope it is wherever you are in the world as well. Don't forget the show is available on demand on Spreaker. It also has an app on TuneIn, on OneMicWithBigMike.com, on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and of course YouTube. And make sure you guys are following me. Like my Facebook page, One Mic with Big Mike. It's the same handle for Twitter and Instagram. And until Monday, ladies and gentlemen, you guys be safe.